It is rare that the new kid on the block manages to upset established cars in the segment. If the Creta did that in the compact SUV space, the Ford Aspire has definitely caused a stir in the compact sedan market. The heat is on, especially on the Honda Amaze and the Tata Zest. How does the Ford fare against these two? Let's take a quick look. While design is majorly subjective, we believe the Aspire is clearly the best looking of the lot. While the boots do look stubby, the Ford manages to look like a smaller sedan rather than a hatch with a boot slapped on. The gaping grille, power bulges on the bonnet, large window area and a dash of chrome on the boot all do their bit in making the Aspire stand out. However, the small wheels definitely look lackluster. The Honda and the Zest have their own set of design elements and will remind you of their hatchback siblings. The Brio face is hard to miss on the Amaze, and so are the sharp lines that run along the length of the car. The Zest gets the familiar Tata face, a neat set of DRLs and some nice looking alloy wheels too. However, the boot on both the Amaze as well as the Zest seem like a bit of an afterthought. The interior layout, although most pleasing on the Aspire, is slightly confusing. The center console is home to a plethora of buttons which do take a lot of time in getting used to. The Zest comes in second with a neat and clean design. Everything is placed just where it is supposed to be and falls in hand easily. The Amaze's dash looks dated and even drab to some. It could definitely do with an adaptation of the Honda City's dash to freshen things up a bit. The kit in the interior is pretty much evenly matched. All cars in the top spec of theirs get an integrated music system that can play music from USB, aux and Bluetooth, and they get steering mounted controls as well. The Zest gets a large 5-inch Harman Kardon music system which is easily the best among the lot. On the other hand, the Aspire gets goodies like the Ford MyDock and Ford Sync depending on the trim you choose. Where the Aspire truly trumps the other two sedans, however, is in-cabin storage space. The Amaze comes second while the Zest seriously lacks in this department, getting only a cup holder at the front. Coming to the space on offer, all three cars will manage to seat 3 people on the rear bench, but only just. The most spacious of the lot at the rear is the Zest, although it does miss out on a central armrest. The Aspire and the Amaze are more or less on par when it comes to space, with the headroom being slightly better in the Honda. However, if you plan on being in the driver's seat most of the time, it is the Aspire that is more comfortable. The bolstering is just right and the support is more than adequate for an average sized human being. That said, we really wish Honda equipped the Amaze with adjustable headrests just like Tata have done with the Zest. Zest is the only car in the segment to offer a turbocharged petrol engine. The 1.2 litre Revotron motor is decently peppy and is equally fuel efficient as well. If you need a petrol-powered compact sedan, the Zest is a really sensible choice. The Honda comes in a close second. The i-DTEC motor needs to be pushed quite a bit to extract performance, but it does absolutely fine while cantering about in the city. The petrol Aspire comes in last. The 1.2 litre motor feels out of breath too quickly and there's very little that you can actually exploit. However, the Aspire does get a 1.5 litre petrol motor mated to a 6-speed dual clutch automatic. If intra-city commutes form a bulk of your driving, this is the one you should be choosing. Amongst the diesels, it is closely fought between the Aspire and the Amaze. Both produce roughly the same amount of power while the Aspire gets some more torque. The Ford pulls cleanly from low revs and turbo lag isn't as prominent as in the Amaze. Also, the i-DTEC motor on the Honda simply cannot suppress the engine clatter, which isn't the best of sounds to begin with. The Zest diesel is the same 1.3 litre unit that we see on the Bolt or the Swift or the Desire for that matter. It's a proven workhorse that does its job without any drama. Then there's the optional AMT as well for that extra bit of convenience. However, for the extra power and drivability, our pick would be the Ford. The ride quality on the Aspire is nice and supple. It absorbs the bumps and potholes without thudding a lot. There's a fair bit of body roll on the Aspire though, but it still performs quite well when you show it some twisties. The Honda's ride is slightly harsher, but the steering is on the lighter side, which lets you zip through traffic easily. Finally, the Zest is somewhere in the middle. It is sufficient to say that the Tata won't let you complain in this department. On the safety front, it is the Aspire that scores the brownie points. It is the only car to be equipped with dual airbags from the base spec, and that is a move we wholeheartedly appreciate. The top spec Aspire gets 6 airbags and ABS, while the automatic gets safety tech like traction control. The Amaze and the Zest have to make do with 2 airbags and ABS in their top trims. It is really quite a task to choose between these three, so here's how we'll end it. If you need a diesel manual or a petrol automatic, head to the Ford showroom. If it's a diesel automatic you want, head to Tata. Lastly, if you want something that is slightly more fun to drive, head to the Honda showroom. As an overall package, the Aspire takes the crown for its potent motor, safety tech and not to mention stellar fuel economy. Hope you've liked the comparo. Do subscribe to the CarDekho YouTube channel for more news and reviews.